Hello, hello, my friends.
Hello, hello, my friends.
Oh my goodness, we are back with more shenanigans. Oh, hello, and happy Friday, or whenever you happen to be catching this. I'm Safrianna Lughna, joined here by my dear friend, Dr. Melissa Bird, and today we are talking about our upcoming teaching series, mini podcast lessons, teachings, downloads, channels.
I
It's
think
gonna
we
be
could
fun.
call it a mini series of magic
Yeah.
because I sort of feel like calling it like a teaching thing, like wah, wah. It's like, oh, who wants to go to that? Nobody. No, but if we call it like a shenanigans dramatic mini series, I don't know. Maybe we'll get more people to show up. Who knows?
I mean, hey, it is certainly going to be magical. And yeah, it's so hard to bring, the language to the magic because we make such magic together. We have such fantastic conversations. Like every conversation we have, I'm always like, man, should have recorded that, should have shared that. And we're always having these beautiful, spicy, nuanced conversations about spirituality and spiritual work and ritual and making the world a better place. And then I'm like, damn, that was a powerhouse fire download right there. And
Oh, right.
you and I are vibing off it. And it's like, shit, if only 20 other people at least could have benefited from that. So
Well, but the thing that I think is I love about what you just said is it's so hard to put the words to it. I have you and I both have done so many events either together or separately, and I think this actually feeds into one of the things we're going to be talking about. So allow me to riff for just a second.
go for it.
I think that the need for people to have a clearly defined list of what are we going to do and what's going to happen and blah, 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 blah. That is such a colonized way of
Mm,
thinking about events, right? People are so afraid of just allowing things to unfold. And
mm,
I actually saw this last weekend when I was doing my retreat was that people they want to quote unquote invest in something because yeah, it's a lot of money, right? They want to
right.
invest in something that they're certain of. But the whole theme of the whole purpose of doing this work, doing magic, doing spiritual work, I actually had someone say that the reason she loves witchcraft is because it makes her feel like she's in control. And I was like, what kind of magic are you doing? Because maybe am I getting it wrong? Because I never feel like I'm in control when I'm doing
Is
magic.
usually handing it over, like,
I'm
all
just like,
right.
sure, let me know what we're mixing. And so I I really, as we're talking about whatever this, I'm gonna start calling it like a mini series because it sounds like like something I wanted to watch on Lifetime when I was 17. But like we're when we try and find words to describe the experience, I think oftentimes we're taking the joy of the wonder out of, an 8-day deep dive into spirituality and spells and prayer and healing and all the things we're going to be talking about for 8 days, which is why we're talking about decolonizing magic, right? Like,
Mhm.
anyway, rant over.
No, important rant. And yes, so we've oriented a little bit to what we're getting into and the fact that it's hard to word. So now let's try and use our words.
I
So
have thoughts.
we have so many thoughts. And this is why we wanted to, even before the event, talk to you all about our thoughts about what we're doing and why we're doing it. So today we are here to talk about our 8 days of Revolutionary Awakening event. It is this magical mini series that we are doing, and it's essentially going to come out to you each day via email. But we will be live. We will be live here. If you're watching this, you're probably in a place you might be able to come find us. Uh, but we are going to be going live and having conversations. And then our participants, who are also going to join us in ritual, are going to come over into Zoom with us, they will get the exclusive replays. So it's the 8 Days of Revolutionary Awakening, aka Between the Veils. We are playing Between the Veils. I love that you're literally making a veil over there smoke right now.
I'm like, wow, off.
It's time to get fiery over here. So let's orient to who the heck we are, and then let's talk more about these 8 days.
Instead of just going into this. What? I'm so excited.
I know.
Let's just talk.
Yeah, we're just like, you know who we are, right? But it's been an exciting time. More people have been coming into my world that have not even met me before. That are dropping into live streams, who are showing up on my socials, who are watching me on Substack. So yes, I think it is important we introduce ourselves. So you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Melissa Bird. I'm awesome. No, I'm just kidding.
You are awesome.
I am. Oh my God, what am I? I'm magic. I'm a healer and a lay preacher and a tarot card reader, and I also am an author. I have my book is called Love Notes and Prayers: Guidance from the Soul. And I teach people how to engage in intuitive leadership and navigate the unknown, and really just through workshops and speaking and magical, amazing things like this online, I really help people release their need to control so that they can live a more spiritual, soulful, bomb-ass life.
Yes, without the boxes.
Oh, there's no boxes.
But yes, you're awesome. You're amazing. You're magical. You're a doctor. You're a preacher. You're an author. You're so many amazing things. And I'm, as always, so honored to work with you. And in case you don't know me, I'm Safrianna Lughna. I'm the Queer Spirit Guide. I'm a trauma therapist turned transformational mentor. I also am an author. I have 2 poetry memoirs, 2 novels, and a lot of nonfiction I've just put out there. And I have been doing Wheel of the Year and moon rituals now for I think this year we hit 18 years. I have a whole a grown ass adult of ritual experience now. I've been practicing Druidry since I was 18 years old. And this sort of, as we move into talking about what we're doing and being in these 8 days, I feel like the Druidry is a really important note, because this actually came up around the dinner table the other night. I said, when I originally got into Druidry at 18, what really appealed to me was that the original group I got involved in is the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids in the UK. And I was doing my research because my story is I woke up one day and I said, I'm a Druid and I don't know what that means. Let me go Google it and see if I can figure this out. Bought some books. And the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids is very much like Druidry is a spiritual, it's just a spiritual form. It's a spiritual way of being. It's not a religion. You could be Christian, you could be a Jew, you could be an atheist, you could be a tree-hugging hippie that doesn't believe in a god, and you can still be a Druid. And so it started to reorient me at 18 years old to the fact that my spiritual expression could be unlimited, and I could practice a religion if I wanted, but that my spiritual expression was my own. And so that's with this series, what's so important to me is bringing through that wisdom of your spirituality is your own. Because of this boxes thing, so much of our society, and I'm sure you're going to speak to this as a lay preacher at some point. I'm sure I'm going to speak to it as I was also a Christian prayer chaplain. I still consider myself Christian, also a witch like you, right? And these things, we don't have to be in one little box. We get to be spiritually limited.
Yes. And I was just thinking as you were talking, I was like, oh, and I'm also a descendant of the Shivwits Band of Paiutes. Oh, and I also, and I also am a Christian witch. Oh, and also, like, one of the things that I think is so interesting about introducing ourselves is that I will say something and then I'll be like, but wait, there's more. And I think that's what I love about these 8 days of rituals, right? Like, is that is this idea of like giving us permission to unpack the myriad. I think of it as a kaleidoscope. I actually saw it that way, like in a like dream or vision or what download, whatever the hell you want to call it. Like we are a kaleidoscope of things. We're not just one thing. And I think that so often in these spiritual practices, especially with like the advent of like witch talk and witchtagram and like all of these people becoming more connected to what a spiritual practice could be, they think they have to do it like everybody else is doing it. And that like our souls are here to be like, let's do it my way. My soul's like, let's do it our way. And I'm like, I don't know if that's appropriate. But when we really listen to our intuition and we listen to our soul, then we connect bigger to this broader web of the universe.
Yes. Yeah. And that is, I would say, this is the core thing. If you participate with us, whether you decide to get up at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern time and watch us for free every day, that is, you set your own schedule, my friend. Now, you would not be in the ritual with us, but if you want to come be a part of these conversations and hear them, you can. The 8 days event workshop, you get all of this delivered into your inbox with more ritual, more teaching, more meditation, more prompts for you to think about what your individual spiritual form is. And at the end of the 8 days, what we're hoping you walk away with is this permission to really be your spiritual self, whatever that looks like. So it doesn't have to look like what your mom did or your granny did or your best friend, the witch on Witch Talk did. It's what you are doing, what your spirit is, craving and calling for. So, yeah.
Ironically, someone actually said in the chat, can you explain the agenda of this stream? No.
No, we're flying by the seat of our pants here. No, but this is a Q&A for a
because we're not here with an agenda. We're just here to talk about this amazing 8-day event we have coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah. So if anybody has questions, please feel free to ask if you happen to be joining us here live, because we want to ask your questions. And I do have a couple of questions from people who have been curious what we're going to get up to.
What are the questions?
Well, it's really funny. I love that you spoke to the agenda and the needing the lines, because this is where I love you and I have such nuanced conversations. Because I come from that trauma therapist lens of being really like almost overly trauma informed at times, where I will give people the entire rundown. And so if you are a person who needs the entire rundown and you need to know breakdown minute by minute what we're going to be doing, this event is probably not for you. But what we are going to be doing each day is this was one of the questions, is like, how long are the teachings, the magical miniseries episodes going to be? We don't really know, but we expect probably 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
But we're already at 13 minutes live here and we have not even gotten into stuff yet. So we can't
no more than an hour though.
No more than an hour, because again, you're gonna, if you sign up to join us for the event itself, you will get an email. That email is going to kind of break down the core things that we channeled, downloaded, talked about, made magic with, so that it's more easily digestible. But you will have that lifetime access to our conversations if you want to keep listening to them, and other such goodies that we're going to sprinkle in. That's kind of the format of the event, is 6 days of teaching / magical mini series, download workshops with the email, a day of meditation and rest, and a day of ritual. So you will be joining us in this particular live cohort. You'll get to join us for our super special Samhain seasonal shenanigans, which that series has just been so much fun. And that's part of why we decided to do this, was to, Samhain is a potent time. I know every holiday I'm like, this is a potent time and it's my favorite, but it's true. But this one, Samhain is like really, it's that reset point. And if you do follow along with like witchcraft ideas, it's often considered the witch's new year, because it's the death into the rebirth.
Yep.
With the winter solstice technically kind of being the first new, but also Samhain, it's like the 0 point into the rebirth.
Well, and the thing I love about what we're going to be doing in these 8 days is, especially so the thing I love about this time of year is it really is pulling us into the liminal space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Into the in between. And I was actually at an event on Monday night, and for Indigenous Peoples Day, and one of the people who was speaking was talking about how for so many of us who are Indigenous, that we are constantly walking in between two worlds. Like our whole life is about being in between two worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And it really kind of hammered home for me about why this work is so important, like helping people understand how to navigate being in the in between. That is why I love this time of year so much, because we're getting closer and closer and closer to the veil thinning, and we're, more and more things are going on if we are paying attention to them. And I think that each of these days we're really going to be giving people the, not framework, but like the capacity to frame their daily lived experiences as we're entering into Samhain in a way that will hopefully open up their hearts and minds and spirits to be able to be more rooted into this time. Because it really is a sacred time. It's a really beautiful time of connection and gathering, and not just with ourselves, but with other people and spirits.
Yeah, I know that you've been getting some extra messages lately, and I feel like I'm just hearing the cries of the ancestors, like, you're so close. You're so close. Just keep going. Keep going. And that, this is a time both in actual timeline, October into November, Samhain season, the liminal space. And that's, collectively, we're all kind of focused on the ancestors. We're thinking about the liminal space. So it heightens, it's more powerful. But also just in terms of where we are right now as a collective, we need this now more than ever. Like this permission to stand in the love of who we are and what our spirits came here to express. Yep. And to live embodied in our 4 bodies, as well as the communal body, the 5th body. Like we are being urged to find that self-alignment with our mind, body, spirit, our emotions, and alignment with our community, our people, our planet. And there's so much turmoil right now, and so much division. And so much of the division is about these boxes. Yep. It's about, well, you don't fit in this box. So, you better get yourself in the box. Uh-oh, I might have lost you. Your camera went poof.
What the heck?
Yeah, your camera just went poof. I can hear you though, so that's.
I know you can. I don't know.
There we go. We're back.
Magic.
It's not, it's not a magical live stream unless something weird happens with the technology, because that's the nature of our energy. But we're talking about the veil being thinner and the timing of this, and that's why we chose, like, if we're going to do a magical mini series, we're going to kick it off. Now's the time. Like during Samhain is the time. But why would you say people might benefit from this in a way that they don't necessarily benefit from other spiritual programs? What's different about us versus other things that we're seeing out there? I think for me, what immediately comes in, because I literally saw this morning, is like, we're not here to sell you the picture that if you just meditate enough and you elevate your consciousness enough, you will be beyond the human mortal coil and you'll be in the new earth ascension, and you'll ascend from your body.
I don't even know the words that you are saying right now.
I see this all over the internet, Dr. Bird. This is what like the spiritual coaching community looks like in a nutshell, and it terrifies me.
It's a little bit culty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I will say. That we may riff. That each one of these days is actually set up to actually counterbalance what you were just talking about. That it is about learning from Safrianna and I, and really, whoa, that was amazing. And learning from Safrianna and I about how to honor your own spiritual practice, and how you can carry the knowledge you keep within your heart and your soul. And we give you ideas and rituals and things that you can take with you. But the expectation is that you will take what we are teaching you and transmute it into what you need in your daily life. So to really create an opportunity for you to create the alchemy that you want in your life. And I think the thing that I love so much about what we're doing is this idea that that we do need, at this time of chaos and upheaval and fear, to be rooted into how to open a portal and a connection to our spiritual practice, how to decolonize our rituals, how to heal the witch wound, like to create a spiritual practice that is yours.
Yes.
And that you can actually, that will anchor you and root you into your physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional bodies, so that you can take that with you and carry it with you in whatever spaces you happen to be entering into the world.
Yes. Not this like, here, take this tool and go apply this. Do
I just
it
have
this
this
way.
whole image of like people being spoon-fed an elixir, but it tastes like it's supposed to be like a spoonful of sugar, except for it tastes like Ipecac and you want to die. Like I don't know why this is coming to me right now, but it's super fun. Like, stop taking the barfy medicine and start like creating. I don't know. Stop taking the barfy medicine is the new theme for our portals.
Well, and instead, this elixir should taste like what heaven on earth tastes like to you, right? It's one of a kind.
Yeah, it's one of a kind. No, it isn't. Like, spiritual practice is not one of a kind. You cannot, take the little drink me, eat me stuff from somebody and think it's going to work out for you. Like, and I think that's what's revolutionary about this is we are gifting practice to people with absolutely zero expectation of what your outcome is going to be.
Yes. Yes.
It scares the hell out of people.
It does.
Who have been trained in capitalistic spiritual practice.
Yes. And so to that trauma-informed piece, because again, I care about that, but it doesn't have to be, here's exactly what we're going to talk about, and this is the list, and we're going to blah, blah, blah. We are here, Dr. Bird and I, if you don't know, are like social work / therapists. Like we have been in the trauma world. We have supported people through all kinds of dark stuff. When we're connecting you with your spirit, and we're not actually connecting you with your spirit. We're inviting you to reconnect with your spirit, because that's yours. You have that connection. You may at some point, due to societal narratives, cut that off. The trauma-informed part is, we're not going to tell you what to do. We're not going to tell you there is this one way to do it. And so it's gonna, if you're a person that is used to rigidity, this might crack you open a little bit and let a little bit more light underneath that shell around you. And that is the goal, again, is for you to walk away with that full permission to spiritually express as you. Yeah. To have your own, to use different terms, to have your own relationship with God, to have your own relationship to the universe, to have your own relationship to spirit or source.
To allow us to create a relationship with community, with, with the people that are around us, right? Like I think that what you're saying is so powerful because when we allow ourselves to learn from many different spaces and then transmute that into what we need, all of a sudden our soul becomes open to so much more. It becomes so much more beautiful to wander through a world and navigate the shitstorm.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And that's part of why one of our days is the golden thread, because I could talk for hours on the golden thread. I have studied Christianity. I have studied Islam. I have studied Hinduism. I have studied Buddhism. I have studied Druidry and Wicca and Hellenistic Reconstruction. I have studied Norse Reconstruction and Egyptian Reconstruction. Like, I've studied so many different things and come back to, oh, really, at the end of the day, this is about what works for us. Yep. So that's why, we were very intentional. We spent time picking these topics and talking over what we wanted to make sure that we brought in these 8 days. So it can be really potent and to the point where when you walk away, you're like, oh, I can be me. I can have this unique relationship with, I call them our angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides with our team. Of course, there is a very beautiful ancestral focus at this time of year. So we will absolutely be talking about that ancestral work. And this is where it's important for all of us to remember we all have ancestors, and we all had indigenous ancestors at some point, and we have probably blended ancestry.
Well, I want to clarify that for people, because I think it's really important for them to understand that all of our ancestors are indigenous to somewhere. So when I think about my Celtic ancestors, those Celtic ancestors were indigenous to France, what we know now as France, and what we know now as Germany, what we know now as Scotland, like what we know now of those places. I don't want people to get it confused that every single person has a Native American ancestor.
Indigenous to somewhere.
I want to make it very clear for people who might be listening to this that we are all rooted in our ancestry to somewhere. But that doesn't necessarily mean you are rooted to your Native American ancestry here because you had a Cherokee princess grandmother.
Right. Yes. And that's
what we hear all the time.
We hear it all the time. And that's, we're going to get pretty deep into that in the magical miniseries, because we want to unpack the nuance of this. Because, hi, I'm a white woman. Hi, I'm a spiritual white woman. Hi, I've been problematic in the past. And when we don't talk about that, we don't move forward. Yeah. We just stay spinning these old drains of doing harm and of being colonialists, which, even those who have been colonized can end up becoming the colonizer. They can end up adopting the beliefs and the roles and the prisons of colonization and all of that. So we want to have these nuanced conversations. And those of you who end up choosing to participate with us live, and be a part of our cohort, we are hoping you'll bring extra questions to the table and things that you want us to really get into the nitty-gritty and juicy of, because that's what we're here for.
Yeah. So for people who are either watching this live right now or thinking about joining us for the 8-day ritual, how much does it cost, Safrianna?
$47. So
doll hairs.
Yeah, our rituals, our Wheel of the Year rituals are normally $40. So Samhain would be $40. We decided to basically make it $1 a day for all of the additional days. And that means when you sign up with your $47, you get the 8 days of teaching / magic. I can't remember. I'm like, it's downloads, channels. You get the 8 days. With the lifetime replays included, that comes with a daily reflection prompt, not a billion, but like one really powerful daily prompt, maybe 2 if we really have a good one. And we're coming up with a lot of this during the day based on your energy and what people are bringing in and what we're downloading and what our ancestors are telling us. So we'll go live, we'll chat, then you get that exclusive replay in your inbox with your reflection prompts. We'll occasionally be sending an extra goodie like a meditation. And then you get access to the Zoom ritual, which is on a Sunday.
Yes.
I'm looking at my calendar in my head. It's on a Sunday. So hopefully most people can make that live. That's a 90-minute ritual. And as an extra bonus thank you for signing up, I'm going to be pulling a single card for you and sending you a personalized video of that pull. So this is like our gift, and obviously getting back some because it is an exchange, but the gift and the reciprocal exchange we're going for is this permission for you to thrive in your spirit. We're not giving you the answers. We are inviting you again to connect. So you could come back to this every year if you wanted, with our little channeled downloads, or you could take the whole dark season to sit with this. Like, this was one of the questions someone actually submitted was, oh my gosh, 8 days. These are like a lot of really potent topics. That seems like a lot for me to master in 8 days. And I'm like,
Master?
No.
There it is again, that word master. Like this is why we're doing this. Like, how have we bought, like, it's a whole lifetime.
Yes.
We are here until we're not on this planet anymore. We're not going to master shit.
No, we're not
here to become experts. I remember the first time I was getting my PhD, and we're doing this huge research project on homeless women and trauma, right?
Oof.
And in LA. And I'm like sitting in, they're like, someone looked at me and they were like, well, you're the expert in this. What do you think? And I was all, I'm not an expert in anything. And just because I'm getting a PhD does not make me an expert in anything, by the way. And I was like, I don't have any idea. I mean, I could give you some ideas, but I'm not an expert in this. Like, I'm good at this, but I'm not an expert in this. And this whole idea of mastering some sort of a spiritual practice, and it goes back to the word ascension, which drives me absolutely bananas. Like, we are here to have an adventure until we're dead. Like, we're born and then we're dead. And everything in between those two things, those are the only certain things that occur in this lifetime. We're born and then we die. And everything that happens in between that is the adventure. I don't want to master shit, because if I've mastered something, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I'm moving on to somewhere else. Yeah. Like wherever the hell we go when we leave the body, right? Like, and to whoever asked that question, that's why it's important that you actually become a part of something like this. Yes. To unravel and untangle and decolonize the idea that our spiritual practices have to be something that we become masters at.
Yep. Yeah. No. And that's
the master of the universe. And then He-Man and She-Ra came in for a visit, and I was like, what is happening?
I love She-Ra so much. Yes. So to anybody who is like, that's a lot of information for 8 days. Yes, it is. We need a potent container, to channel and to allow this to come through. This is the time, like, we were called. That's why we're doing it live. But we plan to have this available. Like, if you don't jump on it, you're like, no, this year isn't the year. These will be here. Like, we're recording it for a reason, so that when people are ready and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to play between the veils and see the connection between my body and my spirit. I'm ready now. Yeah. It'll be there. Yeah. And there is no mastering it. Absolutely. There's absolutely no mastering a spiritual practice. There's getting comfortable with and feeling aligned. There's playing. There's being in a flow state and feeling like you're connecting to spirit and you're getting the messages. Like, we can look for symptoms of alignment.
Yeah.
But there is no mastery.
No.
Because there's nothing to master other than reopening that channel between you and your spirit. Once you have that, and that is, as a therapist and a guide, I work with a lot of clients, and that is the thing. I'm like, once you have that unlock, that you can connect your heart and your body and your mind to your spirit or your higher self or whatever you want to call it, and you can do that at will, you figured out all you need to figure out. Now just go with that. And you tune in and you align them so you can get the answers that you need, and you can actually use you.
And throughout these 8 days too, we're going to be addressing the resistance to doing that, right? Because that can feel really overwhelming or scary. Listen, I still to this day, I'm like, what is happening? Why are we doing this? So I also think for those of you who are listening and thinking about this, like, also, like, know that we will be honoring the fear and resistance to your own internal power, because that is scary. It's like, because we've been trained over ancestral time that is dangerous, over colonized time that is dangerous. Like, and also, this is the time to do that deep work. This is the time to do that deep work because of the rise of fascism, because of the chaos that's happening, not just in the United States, but around the world. It is time for us. The only way, well, one of the only ways that we are going to navigate this turmoil is to be more grounded in our spiritual center.
Yes.
And be more connected with the love that we all carry within us. That is how you navigate fascism.
Yes. And this rise of Christian nationalism teaches the one right answer. And so to the Christians out there who might be hearing us, again, that's where I'm like, we are both eclectic spiritual practitioners. We draw from all kinds of traditions and in our own history and our own ancestry and our own interests and our own, unique way of being in the world. And any system, any religion that teaches there is one right way to look, be, act, worship, have a relationship with God, is that colonized perspective, patriarchal perspective. And I don't say that with judgment. Like, I say that with a genuine assessment of where we're at. And it doesn't have to be that way. And everyone can have their expression.
Yeah. And not only that, but any religion or any guru or any healer that is offering you certainty it's not it.
Or
and also
mastery.
Mary is watching over your shoulder. I keep noticing every time I'm moving, I'm like,
you're moving. There she is. Looming.
The wall of Marys. The mother says,
oh gosh.
Pay attention. No, if anyone's offering you certainty and also I hope people are getting from this, like, this is also fun. Spiritual practice is supposed to be joyful. It's not supposed to be like all serious and like
vlog myself.
Do you have like the right tools? And all you need is yourself and a pen and a piece of paper. Right. And so, so we're not offering you certainty. We're not offering you a quick fix. This is just 8 days of awesome, fun, joyful connection to mind, body, spirit stuff.
Yes. Yeah. You don't need supplies.
No ascension.
No ascension at the end of this. You may feel ascended after this. You really may. You might be like, look, I have ascended my prior.
What does that mean, Safrianna? What does that mean?
Here's the thing. I think that, and I'm going to go Google what the actual definition of ascension is right now, because what I think it means is to rise above. And I think in the spiritual community, the spiritual coaching community, especially, what it means is to rise above poverty and those poor people on the streets that clearly have something morally wrong with them because they don't have money and they're not spiritually expressing themselves enough piously. So God has punished them, blah, blah, blah. We're going to ascend above that. That's what a lot of oh man, I've seen so many people teach that. Like, if you make enough money, eventually you'll be so many stories up in the high rise that you can't smell them stinky poor people anymore. Like, that's literally the attitude. Dr. Bird, I have seen it all.
I love how you're like covering your third
eye. My third eye's like, I don't want to see that. No, it's gross. I can't, like, and that's
okay. What's the definition?
So ascension is the act or process of ascending. Let's look at to rise or increase to higher levels, values, or degrees, mounting or sloping upward, rising upward, usually from a more or less flat base or point of attachment. And like that point of attachment, if you are going to ascend from this, may it be that point of attachment to doing it a right way.
Amen to that.
Like that can be your ascension, is I am ascending above having to do it one right way. I am ascending above the belief that I can be above anybody. Like you're never going to hear Dr. Bird and I offer anything that says you are above anybody or that there is anything that can put you above anybody. And that's another big difference with us is, again, I'm not even joking when I say in the spiritual coaching world, I see it all, the hierarchy all the time. And that's, we've talked a lot in our household recently about the rapture. And the rapture is just kind of another form of hierarchy. And I don't believe
but the rapture, like that guy thought he knew what he was talking about. But what people don't understand is that's not an ancient Christian practice. It was like, wasn't it in the 50s or something? It was like in like modern times, right? That this guy came up with the rapture. It was a dude. And he came up with the rapture. And then started preaching it and teaching it. And I also think this goes to the unraveling that we're talking about for these 8 days, right? Like this idea of healing the witch wound is a really good example, right? Like how are we healing what we bought into, especially under Empire Christianity? What are we healing so that we can be woven together with like the golden thread and these other ideas of a connected future, and remembering that what happens to one of us happens to all of us, right? Like we are all infinitely and intricately connected as part of nature. And so I'm just really excited. I don't know how much more we need to go on about this, but I'm really excited, and I hope people sign up for it. And because this is part of the revolution. I talk often about the graceful revolution, that the revolution isn't always about protest and fist pumping and anger and frog costumes in front of ICE, which I thank you, Portland, for all
I am living for that.
But like, it's not always about that. And some of us can't get out for that, or that's not a space we even are being called to be in. So if you're being called into this space of creating another form of revolution that also is very disruptive and to what is happening in the country, this is a good space for that. That's literally why it's called like 8 days of revolutionary awakening.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we called it. Okay.
I know words
are complicated.
Yeah. And for the one other little question just to answer today is, why are we charging for spiritual work? Because I could vent about this for ages, but what I want to say to that is we are offering people the opportunity. Again, if you want to set your alarm clock and you want to join us live on YouTube, you won't be able to join us for the ritual because that's a private Zoom link, but you could watch them for free. Mm-hmm. But you won't get the bonus because that takes us more time. It takes me, I write the little emails, I download the videos. Like there's actual work. That's not just the spiritual work that goes into it.
Literal job.
It's our literal job. Free doesn't serve anybody because it creates that extraction energy, and spiritual practitioners are often feminine by societal standards, which is underpaid and undervalued. And our ancestors knew that medicine and like spirituality had value, and that's why the medicine people were taken care of in their villages.
They were always paid.
They were always paid in some way. It might have been chicken or some eggs or a blanket or whatever, but
said blankets at the same time.
I know. It came in hot. I literally got this vision of
I saw them too. Yeah.
A blanket coming through. That was amazing. And
yeah,
so
people have always paid for medicine.
Yes, like that's normal. And I want to really like we do free offerings all the time. I do 2 moon ceremonies every single month for free on YouTube. You do free tarot readings in a private community. You're always giving back to your community. So it like if you're a spiritual practitioner out there, it's also okay for you to get paid for your work too, my friends, or emotional labor. Like you're allowed to get paid for your work. So that's why we put a price tag on this for all the replays and the ritual and whatnot. Yep. And we hope that teaches something too about not, we should not be depleting ourselves. We have a lot of fun with this.
It's an exchange, right?
It's an exchange.
It's an exchange, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yes. Yes. And if money is ever in the way, people just reach out to us and we'll talk.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's always scholarships available. Like if money is really an issue, by all means.
Yeah. But yes, we're excited about this. I am I cannot wait. I'm going to try and show our little 8 days here just to see. Yeah, it doesn't show all of it.
But show the Passionistas too.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't show, I couldn't see all of them anyway, but just to reiterate, our 8 days look like we're going to be opening the portal on the 27th, Monday, the 27th. Day 2, decolonizing your rituals. Day 3, healing the witch wound and honoring your magic. Day 4, the golden thread, building blocks of spiritual practice. Day 5, returning to the past to create a connected future. Day 6 is all about the sacred pause and slowing down to actually integrate what's coming through. And so you'll get a meditation practice in your inbox that day. We will not be live. And then day 7 is our behind the Zoom sacred ritual space. And then day 8, which is the next Monday, we'll be live again to talk about living your revolutionary truth. Because that's what we're here doing, is like living our revolutionary truth, even if people don't like it, even if it alarms them. That we can be so free and so sassy and so alive.
Dangerous.
And so queer and so this and so that.
Dangerous.
But yes, we hope you come join us because we're going to have so much fun. We already have a pretty good crew of people that have come together to join us for it. So
I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. If you have any further follow-up questions, my friends, between now and us going live on October 27th, don't hesitate to reach out. You can always email me at guide@safrianna.com, and I will be sure
to add your questions. Put my email in there too.
Absolutely. So there's guide@safrianna.com. Oh, gosh. Do I know your email off the top of my head?
I can tell it to you. It's melissa@drmelissabird.com.
All right, that is up on the screen now too. So email us, reach out, come find us on Substack, find us on YouTube, find us wherever you find us. Even if you don't want to join us for our event, we still want to support, serve, and love on you however we can.
Yes.
Because we're here for that.
Yes.
All right, my friends.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Until next time.
Have a good day.
Bye.